Hello, I'm Joshykins, and welcome to another episode of Writing Session. Now, this episode is going to test out something just a little bit different in the hopes of actually making this a series that people want to watch. I've noticed over the last few writing episodes, because that's how long it takes for me to go, hey, wait a minute. And that is that I seem to have a cutoff point to when I make jokes or point out things. And so I'm going to, the writing segments especially, I'm going to try for much shorter episodes and then gradually increase the length. Not because I can't write in that time frame. From the first episode, you can clearly see I can write 3,000 words in maybe 3 to 4 hours. But that's not the point. I mean, the point is to write and put out this fanfic, but the other point is to make it entertaining for people to watch. And so while I can get out the word count in way, way before the amount of time, I seem to have a cutoff point to when I'm entertaining. So I'm going to make sure I can sort of maintain some fun, some air of funliness, because my mind just went and drew a big blank right there. I'm going to go for short and gradually increase so I can be entertained all the way throughout. So, yeah, people, I'm someone that can have ideas, and my way of improving and finally making myself entertaining is to basically run into the walls for days on end until I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably, open the door that's like an inch away from where I've been ramming my head. So, with that said, let's get back to writing the second chapter of the first part of Dracomorphs. And let's do the application window here, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now of course, just making sure I am actually recording because, yeah, okay. As you see, the last time we left off, we were at 2,044 words. We're going to be aiming to get 2,500 words as the cutoff point for today, just so I make a little dent and hopefully, and still have a lot of time to be entertained without getting close to the 7-hour mark. And in case you forgot, or this is the first episode you're watching, Chapter 2 was called A New Rain Falls. Okay, let's get here. No pressure, Josh. Tarek. Okay, we've got into. Okay, so let's see. Here. As for my. Okay, so back up just a little bit. I have 1K, 1,000, 2K, 2,000 as a way to help me. Oh god, I've just remembered. Just because I switched screens didn't mean you did, so yeah, I just realized, wait, they're not seeing this. God damn it. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure it's recording here. Hi! This is actually the correct document that I was trying to talk about. So yeah, for most series, I have 2 documents. One, the outline, and the other one where I actually write the chapters out. Other times, I might have one extra document sometimes not. It really depends, especially for some of the longer series like Chronicles of Gaia or the Reverend's Call. I'll have actually 3 documents. And hang on, let me stop sharing here so I can actually show you something else I've okay, come on, let me screen share again here. That I've slowly been working on. Let me make sure I am sharing here. And this is, yeah, you see a sneak peek. I do sneak peeks on this blog, and this lovely Animorphs cover is representing the book of the month. And I just choose basically books that left a big impact on me or or something I was recently reading. Yeah, I already have the plan for the book I'm going to be choosing for October. And it's very nice that I'm a bit of a horror fan a little bit, so yeah. And I love Stephen King, so basically the month of October I have set. The other months might be a little more difficult. But anyways, the whole point of this is that the main function of the blog, this blog in particular, is to be where I put my lore. And the book of the month, sneak peeks, know the author, is basically just to draw people in, hopefully. So, they'll check out that and they'll like, oh, yay, but this is only really going to be seen on the desktop version. So, Chronicles of Gaia, I've gotten a good majority of the lore placed here, and I'm going to be doing that with my major series first, and then my one-shots a little later. And after I get the main meat done, I will go back and, touch up on some things. And, and while my documents do provide everything I basically need to know, except for some things I'm like, hey, I won't need this information, then I fuck up later. But yeah, so this will contain as little spoilers as possible. So yeah, so if you do want to check out the lore sometime in the future, go to jazzcentral.blogspot.com. And if you do want like updates on existing entries or new entries, there's a follow by email, but that will only be seen when you are on a desktop, see the desktop version. And the reason why I don't make it so that the desktop version can be seen on mobile, which I can do, is that you sort of have to, for certain phones, it's very difficult because you have to expand the screen so you can see things. So yeah, it's just better. Oh yeah. And after that, let's go back to the outline. Hey, I'm either more entertaining or I'm going off on way more tangents. So yeah. So anyways, back to what I was originally saying, that 1K and 2K, 1000, 2000 is for me to help pace myself while I'm writing. Because as you can see with, sorry, there was a bug there. As you can see with chapter 3, there's not 1K or 2K or anything. And that's because I only add those 1K and 2Ks when I actually get to writing the chapters and I pace. And then I really decide on the pacing, though the pacing can change while writing. But when I outline originally, I don't care so much about putting the 1K and 2K, just because I want to make sure I understand what I want to be what I want to happen for each chapter. Let's see. And during a bad storm, Kali's head opens enough for her to remove Tarek. She manages to do this, so he struggles greatly and she is in pain. Okay, and I'm going to add this. I'm going to add her massacre of her clan at 2.5 thousand words. So that, and I mean, the whole crying thing as she cries over what she's done might just take like a sentence or two. It won't be that big of a thing. And now I feel like a really cruel person because I'm like, oh, she just loses control and massacres everyone she knows and loves. Okay, next. Sometimes, you write and you get into this way of thinking about things and it's horrible. I mean, sometimes I do make myself cry. Other times it's just like, okay. But for emotional scenes, I really do like to get into a painful mindset, no matter how, well, painful that can be. Okay, so 500 words. Let's get let's get Kali to kill her demon and let's go. Okay, let me make sure this is actually recording. Yay! Okay, it's recording, so now I just have to do the writing and hope that I'm somewhat funny while I talk about massacres. Yeah. Once I die, my soul goes. I think we can go for a time jump here. Because I can't see a nice, calm transition between that rain coming and the day that the rain that allows her to become free. Just because it would take days, because it would just seem really fucking stupid to go, and a few days later this shit happened. Doesn't really make much sense to me. It's like I'm zipping through while this little time jump just indicates that it's. I just feel that that's a less clunky way of doing the same thing. So let's go. God damn it. That's so yeah, the Kali and Tarek having to be outside during the storm will make it easier for, the events to occur of her head being. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I'm imagining things. So her. Tarek and Kali being outside will allow the events that occur more naturally. because she's just being drenched by rain, so yay, let's have this motherfucker burned. So he struggles greatly. And now we have to deal with the fact that it's a few days later, and let's see what was said earlier. Let's see. Because I believe I had mentioned a timetable of when like the cure for the rain was going to be, so I have to make sure, because I'm pretty sure a few days later would mean that there should be a cure, so I might have to make up a reason why there isn't a cure at the moment. Okay. Okay, I'm still trying to find, I believe it was spoken dialogue. In a few days, we should have medicine for this. Okay. So earlier in the chapter, is it serious? Tarek asks. No. The wildclaw shook her head. Keep using the recommended spells. In a few days, we should have a medicine for this. So it's a few days later, and I have to explain why there's no cure. I was both painting. Meticulous. I know I misspelled meticulous, probably. But when I go to post it on Archive of Our Own, I'll be using the spell check, that I have on Firefox. So that's when because I'm pretty sure that that is not spelled anywhere near as close as meticulous. You know, in case you were like wondering, Josh, what the fuck is that supposed to be? And that's why editing is really important, because it can help tell turn a mediocre story into a good story, and a crappy story into a great one. So, although, I mean, I think there was once when I was younger, maybe 13 or 14, I had written a short story, and then I was like, this is a fucking piece of shit, and I rewrote the whole thing. I think that was the time when I was writing stories by hand and then then typing them up and then posting them. No, I don't do that anymore. And I haven't really been so harsh with my editing. I just know it can work. I mean, the most I've done as of late is rearrange a paragraph. I remember the latest A Flame Extinguished chapter I released. I believe it was that fic. It's a Game of Thrones fic. And I ended up switching around a paragraph because I'm like, I want this to say one thing, but I have to make sure this thing actually makes sense in context of the story. So yeah, so editing can help you. So it sort of, I think, takes a strong person to go, okay, I'm going to show you my writing process. Because holy fuck, do you go, hey, these aren't really great writers, they're just crap people that, can edit. The demons. Okay, I'm going to do a word count check. As you notice, WordPad does not do word counts. I don't think so. So, yeah. And if you're wondering why I'm using WordPad, is because I haven't gotten to installing Microsoft Word or something similar. And I could, but now it's like, I don't know, I like this setup now because I don't focus on the word count as constantly as before, which is sort of nice. Okay, let's check the word count. And it's 2191. Yay! Woot woot! Yay! And checking the time I have, and yeah, okay. Okay, let's check the next one. However, the cure was only able to be made in limit. yeah, the here becomes the glorious moment when Kali finally takes control from her captors. And I'm sort of expanding her, oh my fucking god, this is awesome moment to better help get my intended word count. And I think I've said this numerous times before in the series, but if I did not have a word count, I probably would not go very far in life. If you almost close that hand. Yeah, Tarek's like, no, you don't know what you're doing. You're making a terrible mistake. And I was going to use horrible, but for some reason, that doesn't really feel like something Tarek would say. And I admit I hardly know Tarek, the demon, but I don't know, just certain characters will use certain words, and other characters won't. Certain characters will phrase a word a certain way, while others will phrase it differently. It's, just I try to find the voices of my characters, and I am really unsure of how well I accomplish that. Because sometimes it just doesn't feel like I'm accomplishing much at all. Okay, now it's 2306. Now let's see if anyone has joined me for this lovely writing session. And no one has. I'm just taking a little break. Yeah, this is definitely much more relaxing than going 3,000 words. And I know I don't have to complete 3,000 words. When I say, okay, chapter is going to be 3,000 words, let's do this. But I don't know, it just makes me feel like I need to rush and do things. And this is, oh god, I need to embrace this. Or maybe I'll do short videos like this because no one really watches them and no one's rushing to go, what happens next in the fic, Jashikins? Oh god, with Archive of Our Own, I'm going to be starting another account up for really shameful stuff, and I'm just going to go like, I was thinking of making this a name for the main account. But yeah, it connects to my main account, and there's some stuff that I'm like, don't really want a lot of people to know that that's me writing this. And I was really hoping with the suits that it'd be like, yeah, no one will guess it's me. And then it's like, and so, I checked on one fanfic writing group, and they're like, yeah, the suits actually do connect to your main account. And it's like, no. No, I don't need anyone to know that's actually me. You don't need to. There's shameful. I currently have a blog of my shameful stuff, but I do in a way sort of wanted to get people to see it. When I really get to writing crack fics again, like really bad ones, I want people to sort of be, terrified of them, like read it and go, "Oh my god, what the fuck did I just read?" In a very pained voice. Oh god. I don't know. Okay, let's write happy times. Okay, I'm checking back with the outline. Should we okay, gonna do this. We're gonna do this, folks. Now, Tarek is screaming no for two reasons. The first is, of course, he doesn't want to die. I mean, that's sort of a common fear. Don't kill me, no! But it's also because he knows that this rage that Kali is tapping into will consume her. That she's not used to taking control of her own body. So she can feel rage and stuff without really any repercussions. She doesn't have to know how to control it. And so in her rage, she can sort of guess that, oh god, a lot of dragons will die. And of course, he does not care about the dragons dying. At least he doesn't care that sentient creatures are dying, he cares that hosts are dying. And that his own fellow, whatevers are also going to die. So it's a little more complicated than don't kill me. Of course, I'm writing this from Kali's point of view, so she's not really the one to go, let me get all philosophical and try to be empathetic to Tarek's wants, needs, and fears. Is going to. So, yeah. And if I did do that, just for the sake of the readers knowing, it would just feel really disjointed there. I don't know. I think I'm really liking the word disjointed as of late. I don't know. I sort of go through moods where I'm like, I'm really obsessed with this word and that word. And I need to use it all the time. And then, yeah. No. Whoa. We all live in the yellow submarine. Yellow submarine. Yellow submarine. We all live in the yellow submarine. Yellow submarine. Okay, here we go. Damn it. Okay, let me get the word count again. 2405. On me. Oh, da, 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 da. Okay. I I think like a few people ended up watching the first one I did, but I don't think they probably stuck around just because it might not have been that entertaining. Or it could be the time of day. Who knows? So yeah. Yeah, I think that hopefully people watch later episodes and like, oh my god, this seems to be really good. Then they watch the first episode and like, fuck. So yeah, okay. Tark is about to die, so if you want to pay any respects to him, you should do so now. Because, I don't know. Shit. Okay. Now, I was about to use terror again with now he would experience the terror because I used fear and terror this little, like a sentence or two ago, and so it's like that's a little too soon. Let's use horror because I believe it's a synonym, like the cinnamon bun. And yeah, you don't want to use the same word too often. And if you do use it too often and you're sort of afraid to go and you're confused whether to edit now or edit later, first draft, rough draft. Yeah. Who experiences horror felt every day. Okay, I need to go back and okay, unless I might have to scroll up and look how demons look, or let's see if I was smart and did not do that. God damn it, demons. Okay, I'm going to go back and look how I described the demon we saw earlier in this chapter. Let's see, do you want to... Let's see. Let's make the skull. Okay, let's see. Head. Okay, here. Okay, here we go. I'm copying and pasting that description into the first document. And so, before I continue, this is how I originally described the demon. A shiver went through my mind as I looked at Faye. The rain had burned part of his head open, and I could see the demon inside. It was white like the ice warden's snow. For a moment it could be imagined that it meant no harm, but I knew better than to fall in love with it. The majority of its body was wrapped around Faye's brain, for the brain went around the dragon's spine. The dragon still had too much flesh for me to see the rest of the body. And if you're wondering, here's like a little thing about when I write. I will put in references to sci-fi and fantasy. Sometimes they're much more obscure than others. In this case, I made the description of the demons like Souls and the Host by Stephanie Meyer. Horrible book. Don't read it. Just don't. If you're like, oh, this would be interesting because Jashikins mentioned it in her fic, I might need to check it out. Don't. Just think about the idea. Think maybe it's okay. Think of nope. The Host is my most hated book of all time, and the reason I got into blogging. Every time I read it gets worse. I like reading Twilight. I mean, it's not a good series. It's not a good series at all. It's not. It's not. But it's fun, and I like complaining about it. And I like not just complaining about it, but there are some elements of the series that I actually like. Rosalind's backstory, though it doesn't make complete sense, especially if one knows about cause of the Great Depression. It's, yeah. But still, it is a cool backstory with Rosalind. Being raped by these guys, by her fiance and his friends, being turned into a vampire, and then killing them off one by one. Which is like, I know parts of it don't make sense, but it's fucking cool. But the Host is way worse. I figured, hey, it's like a mockbuster of Animorphs, and it's written by the lady who did Twilight, which was enjoyable. It's not going to be great. I was not going to go, this is going to be a great part of literature. I'm going, it's going to be fun. It was not fun. It was terrible. I mean, Uncle Jeb, the first time I read it, I'm like, okay, this book is horrible, but at least there's Uncle Jeb. But then after thinking about it for a little bit and rereading the book, Uncle Jeb should have been the one who was suspicious about Wanderer appearing. Because he was, before the invasion, he was like, one of those conspiracy nuts that made a place to run away to if anything should happen. And yet he's the one like, oh yeah, this thing we're fighting against and the one I should be really, paranoid about. Yeah, I'm just gonna fuck it. But anyways, back to the point, back to this fic. I'm not using the whole history of the souls. I'm merely using sort of what their body's like. And if you have had the misfortune of reading The Host by Stephanie Meyer, you'll know that how Kali has been able to remove the demon is not at all, wouldn't work in the book. So I'm only doing a little slight character design, a little. And trust me, I'm not going to do the whole history of the host. I mean, whole history of souls, and keep that the same, because holy shit, that's basically, souls are these genocidal aliens that are totally peaceful. And if you can understand how that's a contradiction, yeah. But let's get back to killing. Okay, 2557. So that means we have reached. Hang on, let me get the word count right. 2557. And that means we have reached the end of this writing session. Hopefully, I was able to keep this more entertaining. Maybe the shorter length will also give more people watching. I don't think we even passed an hour. And that, like, part of me is like, let's do some more work. Let's continue on. But then another part's like, what if I'm not entertaining? Get too focused on writing. So I just need to really learn how to pace myself. And if you did watch this and managed to get this far in the video, thank you very much. And if you have watched past videos of writing session, please comment below and tell me if this is better or worse. I'm going to, again, only increase the word count, the length of the videos, depending on how entertaining I can be. I just don't want to, like, have, because I know another video, right, when I do the writing part, there comes a point where I'm basically just silent and I'm not pausing a lot and I'm not being entertaining or giving any information or insight into what I'm writing. So yeah. Yeah, so if you're Okay, sorry, I just don't have the long list of post sort of end video stuff to do in these writing session videos. So let's focus again. If you are watching this video on the YouTubes, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you do not miss any of my excellent content. I don't just do writing session, I also do reviews and dramatic readings. And if you are watching this on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the follow by email option so you don't miss any of my wonderful content, my fanfics, my dramatic readings, and everything else. And next video will be more of a marriage of convenience, which is my Game of Thrones fanfic, and that will air sometime on Friday. Now we're coming to the very end of that fanfic, so that just hopefully 2 more weeks, this week and the week after. So ears open. And again, the next video will be more of a marriage of convenience, and that will air sometime on Friday. And until next video, goodbye.